Part of the crowd of over 8,000 here at the O'Connell Center for Florida and Georgia. Georgia #1, the defending national champ. The Gators ranked #5. Florida now on floor exercise. The Gators trail by .25 heading into the final rotation, so they are within reach if they can nail their floor routines. Katie Rue's up first.
And this is the highest ranking event nationally for Florida. They're ranked 6th. This is also the biggest event for upgrading of their difficulty. They've all worked really hard to get some new skills. Nice high, full twisting, double back. One thing Coach Randy was saying was that she's wanted to do this hip-hop type routine since she's been here, and I think you could tell she's really enjoying it, as well as the crowd.
Well, she's in her 3rd year, junior out of Maryland.
She'll round off whip half, front full. This Gator crowd is always so much fun to play up to. They really get into this event. Florida just known to be great in the floor exercise. They always have very unique choreography, a lot of fun to watch.
And does that help you to have that reputation? The judges know what your reputation is.
Exactly, it sure does. Makes it hard sometimes, though, when you're traveling on the road to not have that energy behind you from the crowd. You see your teammates getting into the routine as well. Gearing up for this last pass now. She's increased her difficulty so much. That's what she started with last year. And she's finishing with it. She stays in bounds. And there's that Gator chomp. It's in every routine. Take a look at that whip half, front full. Nice combination. There's that first pass, full twisting double back. Great height.
It amazes me how close they can get to that mark without going over. And Katie Rue with a 9.80 for Florida.
Well, they might keep the scores a little low, being the first gymnast for Florida. They know it's going to get better as the roster goes on.
And Georgia's been putting Kelsey Ericksen up high in the lineup, trying to establish a high number, and Ericksen has come through on each rotation.
You see her starting with extremely difficult mount, a punch front. Some of the gymnasts like to just get on easy and then do the big skills once they get on. You don't really want to start your routine with a fall. And she took that risk at the beginning. There's a handspring layout, step out. Very solid. She's a 2nd team All-American. She's been the leadoff beam worker for Georgia. Georgia playing around a little bit with their lineups, trying to see who can hit. They had trouble with that last year, and by the changes, it just didn't get any consistency for them. And I think Coach Jacqueline feels that this will pay off if they can get these orders established early in the season. Switch leap, straddle jump, straddle jump.
Well, it was just amazing last year that Georgia was the 12th and final qualifier for NCAAs and then won it.
And that shows you how tough they are, barely getting into nationals, going in, and they were the underdog all year last year. There's a gainer, full twist.
And a 9.875 for Kelsey Ericksen, who's battling her teammate Katie Heenan for all-around honors tonight. And over to the floor, here's Savannah Evans on the floor exercise, where she was an All-American as a freshman.
This is a new routine for her. Again, going country. Last year, she had Cotton Eye Joe. There's a step out of bounds there. There's that added difficulty with that double front. She's been wanting to do that since she was a freshman. As we said, Coach Spain is putting out the big skills early, taking some risk here and there, and that way they'll be ready at nationals.
Now, a step out of a tumbling pass, how does that compare with a step on a landing from the vault or the bars?
It's the same. You've got 1/10 for that step, like if you take an extra step, but if you go out of bounds, that would be also a 10. Depends on how big that would be. She was the 2005 SEC Gymnast of the Week. Performing to Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Getting ready for that last tumbling pass. Round up a handspring, nice high tuck double back. That's a great routine for Savannah. Nice height.
And Savannah Evans with a 9.675. We still have a few routines to show you, so don't leave us. We'll be right back to the O-Dome. Ranked Gators to upset the #1 Georgia Gym Dogs, but Georgia coming through so far on the beam is going to be very difficult to catch. We go back to floor exercise, and again, Gator freshman Corey Hartung.
And Coach Rhonda Fain feels that this event can help them really compete for SECs and Nationals this year with all their difficulty. She's starting out with a triple twist. It's an E-level tumbling pass.
Is that like an old E-ticket at Disney? The higher the letter, the better the...
Exactly. You have A, B, C, D, and E. And obviously, the higher you go, the more difficult the skill is. And she not only starts, but finishes with an E-level tumbling pass. Very unique choreography. One thing that's interesting about Corey is her and her mom moved away from the family for 5 years to train at Hills Gymnastics in Maryland. A lot of these kids have made a lot of sacrifices to get where they are today. Whip into a 2.5 twist. She not only considered Florida, but Georgia, Alabama, and LSU, all the top SEC gymnastics schools.
The gymnasts can't go wrong with those programs, certainly. You look in the top 5 right now, you've got Florida, Alabama, and Georgia all in there.
In 2004, on this event, she was 3rd on the floor exercise in the USA versus Japan meet. And she finishes with a nice double twist. Great routine for Corey.
Corey Hartung for the Gators.
Corey Hartung for the University of Florida.
She's so graceful on this event. Even in her tumbling, you see a whip, a 2.5 twist, follow that. A nice front double twist. Extremely hard to finish the routine with. She makes it look so easy.
And Corey Hartung with her 3rd 9.9 of the night. She did not vault, so she's not in the all-around. The only Gator in all-around is Nicola Willis, and she fell off the beam, so she's not a challenger to win there, but she tries to end the evening on a high note with her floor exercise.
She is one of the first gymnasts at Florida to compete this first tumbling pass. Round up back handspring, nice high double layout. Look at the power. You wouldn't know she just had shoulder and ankle surgery and was out this last year. That double layout is really hard on the ankles. Punch front, round up back handspring, double twist. She has a lot of great amplitude in all of her tumbling skills, very unique choreography there.
And part of the reason coming back from that ankle last week, they held her out of the floor exercise against Alabama. So they're just trying to work her in gradually, build up the strength for the end of the year.
You may see all the gymnasts for Florida have the Gator chomp incorporated into their routine.
Nicola just broke the school record with 6 chomps in a single routine.
She can get away with that. She was an Olympian. Not only is she great, but her mother was a British swimming champ and dad was a former international speedway motorbike rider. Let's see what kind of finish we can do here. Nice hike double back. Looks like she might have stepped out of bounds there. That'll be 1/10 if it registered with the line judge.
Oh, very nice routine from Willis, but that judge in the corner did say she stepped out on the final pass.
And look at this power. Straight body, double layout, and nails it. She does this so flawlessly. A double full. Looks like she could put one more twist on it.
And a 9.775 would have been at least a 10th higher without the step out, but a good score for Willis. Now back over to the beam. The final Georgia competitor on beam is Courtney Kupets.
We talked about her medaling in the Olympics on bars, but she placed 5th in the beam and 9th in the all-around at the 2004 Olympic Games. Back handspring, layout, step out, layout, step out. Performs it like it's no trouble at all.
Her right ankle taped. She has a little Achilles strain, so they kept her out of the floor lineup. Georgia, as good as they've been on floor, will be even better when she's full strength.
And she's already been named the SEC Gymnast of the Week, January 17th. A great achievement. There's that required full turn. She joins a list of 6 other Georgia gymnasts that have competed in the Olympics. Switch leap to a gainer layout, step out. She's flawless. In her dismount, a gainer full twist, perfect landing.
9.925 Kupets to go with a 9.9 on vault and a 9.95 on the uneven bars. So 3 outstanding scores from the Olympian, no surprise. And also having a good night, Florida's Tiffany Murry.
She's performing her routine to Santa Esmeralda. High energy, he's got the crowd already in it with the clapping. She's really improved on her amplitude on her tumbling this year. Look at that high, full twisting, double back. She stayed in bounds. Stepping right into her second tumbling pass. Sometimes they like to get both of them out of the way for the endurance purpose of it. There's a punch front, round up a handspring, tuck double back, 1 step out of bounds. That's going to cost her a 10th. Right now, Florida just can't afford to give out these 10ths on the floor exercise.
That's the 4th one we've seen tonight. And that's, you add 4/10 to the final score and you may have a different result.
Exactly. And Florida knows that. Last year they were afraid to keep the harder skills in early in the season, and they just didn't have the difficulty to go against Georgia's and Alabama's at the end of the year. But this year they're going to be ready for SECs and Nationals with their difficulty.
And they have to feel good about season highs on the vault, bars, and beam. A little surprising on the floor tonight, but they'll be better in the future.
She finishes with a nice high pike double back. Beautiful routine. There's that gator chomp. The crowd loves it. As we said, all the gymnasts have greatly improved over the summer on their tumbling. She's just added a lot more height to her skills. Starts with that full in, which was an E-level skill, and finishes with a solid pike double.
And Tiffany Murry gets a 9.8 despite the 1/10 deduction. Excellent routine for Murry. We'll be back and check out the final scores from the O'Connell Center in Gainesville. The second largest crowd ever to see gymnastics in the O'Connell Center sees the 2 highest scores in the nation this season. Unfortunately for Gator fans, Georgia with the top score at 197.025. Individually on the vault, a 3-way tie for first, including Florida's Tiffany Murry. On the uneven bars, the Olympian Courtney Kupets gets the win. Ericksen is second. 2 Gators tie for third, Courtney Hartung and Samantha Lutz. On balance beam, Kupets again a winner, with Florida's Courtney Hartung second and Lutz tying for third. And on floor exercise, Corey Hartung gets the win, while Ericksen and Heenan of Georgia are tied for second. In the all-around competition, Georgia's Kelsey Ericksen is the winner, with Katie Heenan of the Bulldogs, the Gym Dogs, finishing second. That's going to do it from the O'Connell Center in Gainesville. For our producer, Vince Payne, director Jerry Wetzel, and our entire crew, along with Melissa Miller-Schubeck, I'm Larry Vittel. Good night from Gainesville.